jolted if so.
Do you want to dance? Do you want to dance?
Welcome to North Hobart Open 2026 Tasmanian Representative Series Games. We're going to hold now. Together with those of Aboriginal descent playing in today's game. Now, if you're able, please come upstanding to the playing of the Australian national anthem.
And welcome to North Hobart Oval for the Tasmanian Representative Series clash between the Southern Football League and the Northwest Football League. Should be an intriguing encounter with statewide bragging rights firmly on the line here as the Northwest take on the South. I'm Andrew calling the action for AFL Tasmania. Joining me in the box is Bo Down. And Bo, always a cracking day at the footy when Rep Series is on the menu.
It always is, Drew, and it's a pleasure to be calling with you this morning. Not too bad conditions. It's a little bit dewy out there by the looks of it. Very cold this morning, but always pumped when it comes rep football time. A big break, of course, no community league. Expecting a big crowd here at North Hobart, Drew.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll run you through the starting lineups for today's game before we get underway here. Bounce just a couple of minutes away for the SFL. In defence, Rihanna Davis, Caitlin Wickham, Lily McConnum, Hayley Whitehead and Ellie Wagner. The midfield line, Kennedy Williams, Gemma Webster, Lana Davey. Half forward, Luca Murgatroyd, Lindsay Beck, Molly Mitchell, Illyria Denholm and Jacinta Limbrick in the full forward spots. The ruck, Steph Smith with Heidi Preshaw and Emma Waller roving. And the bench, Charlotte Barnes, Laura Negri, Michaela Booth and Hayley Baldwin. You've got the Northwest boat.
I do. So Holly Diprose is out. She was initially named, so that's the big out today. Olivia Pringle comes in. She was listed at fullback. Not sure where Pringle will play, but Courtney Hingston at fullback too. At halfback, we've got Jess Whelan, Olivia Lyons, Ellie Ewington, Matilda Rockcliffe and Conkey on the wing, as well as Jessica Smith in the middle, Olivia Smith, Emma Pittman, the coach, Asher Newman at half forward. At full forward, we've got Aylett and Shania Saywood, and the followers, Hannah Lee, Piper Humphreys and Kelsey Ahern. And on the interchange bench, we've got Amali Johnson, Ella Moody, Emily Saywood and Amy Bissett. And coaches, Emma Pittman and Michael Pask, Drewy.
Yeah, we're just about ready to get underway. It's the Northwest looking to claim the series here today. The SFL will do their best to deny them that, and if they can win today, would be very well positioned to win it themselves. As we're just about ready to get underway. Bo Downham will get us underway here.
Smith and Lee in the ruck. Representative football is back in the South for another year. And it's a nice looking throw up there by Eleanor Bird, as tapping it down to herself. Saywood kicks it into the forward 50. Whitehead was coming out to meet it, picking it up McConnett. Not going to be hard to miss out there in the helmet today is McConnett. Makes our job a whole lot easier as the hand pass just got fired out. Preshaw had a stack of the football for Clarence last week. Skipper Smith goes up the middle of the ground, hits up a target. It's a good target too. Wheeling and going now is Murgatroyd, another one of those Clarence players who had a really nice game against Lauderdale last week. Here's Limbrick. Hand pass fired out now to Whelan. Little kick around the corner. Doesn't quite work out though. Waller. Looking forward to seeing how she goes today. It'll be a ball up.
So, the SFL pushing here, trying get the first score on the board. On top of that one, Waller, but she's going nowhere. Very nice day for football at North Hobart. The ground looking in fantastic nick as Heidi Preshaw tumbled a kick inside the forward 50. Quick little give and then they'll drive it deep inside the forward 50. Broken up. Williams was arriving, turning, trying to get a kick away. Limbrick, that was shut down and the Northwest will clear up towards the middle of the ground. The SFL well represented behind the football. McConnell couldn't take it cleanly initially, but now they work it out the back and they'll send it forward via Whitehead. It's a wide kick towards the line. Arriving first was Conkey, turned into a bit of trouble. The SFL going here, an opportunity for the opening score perhaps. Handball back in board, couldn't find a target. And driven out of defence by Lions. It's wide, and the SFL will take back over.
Three Devils apiece in this game, Drury. We've got a couple playing out there, Limbrick, Whitehead and Webster for the Southerners, and Conkey, Hingston and Emily Saywood for the NWFL. So a lot of talent on display here as the SFL will receive a free kick. They drive it inside forward 50 now. Murgatroyd came out to meet it. Just off the hands of her opponent there in Beck. 41 hitouts last week for Lindsay Beck, if you don't mind. There's a little kick from Smith, got smothered. Saywood expecting her to have a huge game today. Shania and Emily Saywood, of course, the sisters from the Northwest. See another ball up now. Tap down from Lee. Off to Saywood, right on cue. Had someone hot on her hammer. And it will be holding the football, going the way of the South. Here's Waller. Driving ball inside forward 50. Just stuck up in the wind. Beck on all fours, trying to pick it up now is Denham. She's a great story, Drury. I reckon only about 15 or 16 years of age and booted two of the best goals you'll see for Kingborough last week. As they clear the 50 now, Wagner just got taken without it. Good tackle laid by Aylett.
So Wagner will send the SFL inside 50. Murgatroyd arriving, extended the arms, couldn't quite reel it in. A ground level, an opportunity for Denham, who snaps around the corner. It's off hands. Battling with it was Limbrick. And it's through for the first score of the morning. The SFL doing the attacking early in this one. The Northwest will take it out of defence here. Spearing ball to Pittman, who's got room to manoeuvre. She balks round one and drives it through the middle of the ground. Some classy play there. The kick, though, to Wickham's favour. Now an opportunity for Conkey. It's a wide open forward 50 in front of Newnham. It's a foot race. Will it sit for Newnham here? It's tumbling. Can she gather cleanly here? Bearing down on it was Wagner. Still a chance for Newnham, but it's rushed through from behind.
Nice piece of play there by the NWFL. As the South now kick it in by way of Davis. Her kick just misfiring off to Preshaw. And we're going to see a throw in now. Really good game by Preshaw last week, Drury. She had a stack of the football. Going to see a ball in inside the forward 50 now for the Northwest. Smith and Lee. Tapping that one down was Smith. Coming through Sayward. In fact, that was Aylett. They kick a ball out towards the Limbrick direction. And the lasso rule in full effect here early. It's going to be a kick in by Ewington. So Ewington back into the corridor, hits Sayward, but kick just got smothered. It was a good fist in there by Emma Waller, who really excited to see today play. Out now to Kennedy Williams, trying to track it down. Here's Davis, put her head over the football and shoveled a hand pass out. Williams had McConnell, elected just to go straight up the guts. Couldn't quite hit a target out, but it's okay. Running through now is Limbrick. Kick inside the forward 50, finds Murgatroyd, but there was a good spoil out there by Lyons. It was nicely done. Still trying to come in now, the South. Little dribbler kick forward. It's rolling for goal. And they're off and running early here, the SFL. And I reckon that's Denham, Drury, who slots the first. Nicely done there by Lyra Denham, and they get under the way here at North Hobart.
Yeah, just got out the back here. It was some pretty good defence initially by Hingston on Murgatroyd, but following up at ground level was Denham, who has certainly looked lively early on here. And Lyria Denham threads the eye of the needle there. A lovely finish, and she's shown a bit. You mentioned her relative youth.
Yes.
She's having an impact early on in this one. Not the tallest in stature, but the impact sizable to start this one. As the SFL get the first goal. Back to the middle, one down by Lee. As the NWFL look to hit back. Waller been prominent early in this one on top of the ball. It'll be tossed back up. Lee and Smith. Smith dominant in this game last year. Wins the hit out. Just took away from Pittman. Slung around there was Webster. Nothing doing. This one's towed towards Lee, who just shielded the ball and paddles it cleverly for Pittman. That was really intelligent. The handball broken up before it could find Aylett, but able to get it back on it was Pittman, who'll drive them in the Sayward direction, just off her hands, out the back of the contest. Through Bissett, got cleaned up. The legs taken out. An opportunity here for the Northwest still. The battle is on at ground level. McConnon, and they'll clear it, but didn't get any real purchase on it. An opportunity for Conkey. Conkey with the set-up kick, but she turns it straight over to Lily McConnon. McConnon is able to just guide this one. Out of defence now. Lindsay Beck to drive it wide. Driving up the football. Denholm. Impressive start. She'll send the SFL up towards half forward. The Northwest have got numbers everywhere here, though. And taking the mark is Hingston.
One of those Devils playing today. She had a great game against the NTFA earlier in the year. As she just fires it up towards high half forward. Doesn't really leave the square though. Coming out to meet, it's Wickham. High ball up towards centre half forward. Just spoiled out there by Lyons. Hand pass was chopped off there nicely by Baldwin. She's one of the vice skippers today. Out now's Mitchell. And we're going to see a ball up just inside the forward 50. If you're just joining us, Alira Denham's kicked the first goal for the SFL. So another ball up. As you said, Drew Smith was great last year. Coming out to meet it, Beck. Just shoveled a hand pass out. Soccering ball forward there by Charlotte Barnes from North Hobart. Now to Sayward. Emily Sayward, one of those Devils. Played first string of games for the Devils. She'll be looking to try crack that team now, but she's focused on the NWFL for the time being. Just off hands now as the umpire circles around, and we'll see a ball up. Great story, Denham. Loving Smith, the skipper too, in the ruck. She's been dominant early. She wins that tap down. Out now to Matilda Rockcliffe. Just got sharked with a hand pass. In there, Baldwin. Fired it out to Smith. Trying to track it down there was Olivia Smith. So two Smiths going at it. Into the centre of the ground now. Davey. Hold on her hammer though. Trying to meet out is Bissett. Played a cracker of a grand final last year, did Bissett. She just paddles it out towards the George Miller stand. Good tackle laid. Here's McConnell. Fires the ball up down the line. Limbrick had front position, but coming through over the top of her was Ewington. That was nicely done. It's still spilling around. Baldwin. No one can really take clean possession at the moment. Smith on cue. Pittman. Run off half back. Ewington just got sat down. And it was nicely done there by the South. Streaming off half back is Booth. Sends it up towards half forward. It's deep now. But coming out to meet it is Lyons. She gets the hand pass away just in the nick of time. Davey now. And I reckon the boundary line might beat out, Drury. It will.
Nicely done by Lyons, holding the line defensively there. SFL looking for the dangerous Murgatroyd a few times early on, but the Northwest defence thus far marshalling her pretty successfully. Beck having a run in the ruck now, and she wins this one down for the Southerners. High kick around the corner. Here's Denholm. Dominant early. Set up ball trying to find Webster. Couldn't get both to ball. That's a great rundown tackle. Umpire says play on. No free kick there for Piper Humphries, who did ever so well. She's might have to do some more work here. Handball back just a little too slick. Webster is piled on. They are doing pretty well at the back here, the Northwest. They're under a lot of pressure. Holding up reasonably well for the time being. Lee won it down. Unable to get a kick away. Beck applying some pressure, and they'll lock it in once more. And in the territory battle at the moment are the South. Lee won it down. Handed straight to Kennedy Williams. Couldn't keep a hold on it. Handball back through the hands of Beck. She'll go back in. Flick the handball for Baldwin. Baldwin turned into trouble. The pressure came from Eilert. Still going Williams. Gets a kick around the corner. Here's Denholm with 2 to beat. Arriving to apply some pressure was Murgatroyd. Handball back towards Denham. Jinx inside. Gives it to Murgatroyd. Murgatroyd handballed it off. The snap ill-directed. Smith unable to get there. It'll be tossed in. This is pretty good defensive work from the Northwest Bow. They're under a lot of pressure back there.
What about Denham? She'd only be about 15 or 16, but rode that bump like a 30-year-old. Loving her game already. She's kicked the first. As it's a ball in inside the forward 50. Off now to Smith. Out the back was Webster. Paddled off there by Olivia Smith from the Northwest as they kick it forward now. Here's Denham again. She's been lively in this game already as she shovels a hand pass out. Whelan stood in the road though. They're just pressing forward ever so slightly here. The SFL is wrapped up. There was Barnes. Tapped down by Lee. Hand pass shoveled out there by Jessica Smith. So we got a few Smiths out here today, Drury. Beck. Trying to find it now as they hand pass it, switching off to Negri. Just lost the handle on it though. Umpire hovering, but lets it go nicely. Webster's in there. What else would you expect from her? In fact, that's Kennedy Williams. My apologies. Good up-and-coming star as she sends it up towards Limbrick. Couldn't quite will the mark in. Overrunning it there was Davey. High ball up there from Beck. Front position was Smith. Brought ball to ground though. Pushed off it. again was Webster. Out the back, here's Lyons. And now the NWFL have a bit of breathing space as they send it up towards Davis. Davis and Bissett in a one-on-one. That's going to be a match-up today for Mindjury as Williams had a couple of lively moments already. Sets it out towards Whelan. And pass just misfired, and it's going to be a boundary throw-in. So, although it's been last touch. I'm still trying to get my head around that, Drury. My apologies.
So the lasso free kick. We'll see the Southerners go forward once again. Apply some more pressure. Murgatroyd got hands to it. Couldn't take the mark, but she follows up at ground level. Pretty heavy traffic to navigate, though, and climb on top and lock it in. This time it was Piper Humphreys. Either ruck decisively there, tight to the line. Denholm wanting a deliberate out of bounds, but the umpire will just toss it back in. Dominating the territory early in this one, the SFL. They get the second goal to show for it. End but don't break so far from the NWFL. Beck won that one down. Kick kind of falconed into Murgatroyd. Blocked the exit though, and it'll be locked in by Heidi Preshaw.
Having a stellar year is Preshaw, Drury.
Yeah, she's been one of the dominant players of the SFL. Smith couldn't take that one cleanly. Pittman arriving to apply some pressure. Kick out of traffic. Murgatroyd from behind. Again, Lyons defending the situation well. Again, I think it's Denholm roving and snapping and goaling. What a start to this game. Illyria Denholm, she has two. And the SFL get their second via a young star.
Gee, she's playing well at the moment. I think she might have made her senior debut maybe last week or the week before, Drury. Hasn't been playing seniors that long, but she is well and truly looking comfortable here at North Hobart Oval against the best of the best. And again, that kick was awesome by Denham. She's looking really good. She's very small, but she's built nicely. So we head back to the middle now. Beck, 41 hitouts last week. She'll be hard to contain in that ruck position. Switching with Steph Smith. It's going to be a watch. So they sock it out towards Davis. Nice little paddle on. Hot on her tail was Shania Saywood. So the Saywood girls out there today. Davis. And boundary line will beat out. So 2-1-13 to 0-1-1. We've got about 14 and some change to go in this first quarter here at North Hobart. It is the SFL and the NWFL representative series. So no one really getting a decisive tap down. Beck followed up for a second go at it. And we'll see another ball up. Even numbers ahead of the game here for the Northwest. Williams just got a hand pass, misfired. Barnes was in there too. Smith try to track this one down. Got a hand pass free, but Williams. So it's just ping-ponging a little bit at the moment, Drury. Another ball up. We'll see. Denham just got a kick away in the nick of time. Coming off half-back was Lyons. She's having a good game so far on Murgatroyd. Drury?
Yes, won the bulk of the contest heading her way. They need to get something going forward of centre, though. Give the defence a bit of a reprieve right now. They have been working overtime. Tumbling kick forward by Smith as they try and conjure something here. Eilert was clean and then gave the handball. Now an opportunity for the Northwest to go forward. The kick has too much on it for Moody. Leading back in the race is Wagner. Has time to turn back inside. Turned into some pressure though. Impacted the kick. Saywood takes the mark. And can try and go and kick a bit of a settler for a side here. Around about 35 to 40. And the pressure just arrived there. Forced a slightly risky kick. Saywood intercepting. Can she convert First real look at goal for side today. Emily Saywood is drifting back, not quite enough. And then they'll dart it clear. Short little ball found Barnes. Barnes wants to move it quickly. Pittman, though, will be first to the fall. It'll be a lasso free kick, so she'll get it anyway. An opportunity to send the Northwest forward once more.
So, a little less than 2 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Came out the back to Negri. And whistle blown. Umpire jogging in. So right in front of that Triple M sign. Deep into the pocket here at North Hobart. Beck won the tap down, but slaps it over. That's out on the full. So, umpire saying it was deliberate. So, here is Olivia Smith for the Northwest. Reels around from 50. Spots up a target there. And I reckon that's Luca Conkey, the skipper. Another one in the Devils program. Looking to bring it back to a goal here at North Hobart Oval. Conkey. Dead on 1 minute to go here. The skipper will line up from a slight angle. Sets it on its way. And the Northwest are on the board at North Hobart Oval. And it's back to a goal, Drury.
A couple of their stars combining to get them there first. That was really clever from Olivia Smith. Just had a look. Initially kind of looked like she was going to go to the goal square. But that's exactly what the SFL defenders were thinking. They started working back, just opened up the space for Conkey, and she just finessed a lovely little pass. Conkey goes back, settles her team down with a goal there late in the quarter. And having been on the back foot for much of the term, I think they'll take a 6-point deficit heading into quarter time, unless there's a really late strike here. Still perhaps time for the SFL as Baldwin toes it forward. They'll try and get it out of here. If the Northwest can just lock it in, that'll take us to the quarter-time break. So there goes the siren. The SFL ahead by 6 points, but on balance of play, will probably feel they should be further ahead. The Northwest defence stood up really well, absorbed a lot of pressure, and then they were able to pull one back the other way via the boot of Luca Conkey late on. So 6 points to lead. The SFL will be happy with how the quarter played out, but I reckon the NWFL won't be too disappointed at that scoreboard, though.
Yeah, they had a lot of opportunities to go for goal to the SFL. It was sort of living down there for majority of that quarter, but they defended well, and then their transition ball forward was really good by the NWFL. They had a couple of opportunities. I reckon they made the most of them, Drury. They didn't go inside 50 a whole lot, but when they did, they made the most of it. As it is 1-1-7 to 2-1-13. But the SFL wouldn't be too displeased with how they've started the game. Probably just tidying up on their entries and trying to get more bang for their buck, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty even battle in some aspects of the game. But inside 50s, I think certainly the SFL will feel if they can keep that supply coming, then eventually that will win out. The NWFL probably need to just get their hands on the ball a little bit more, because when they were able to win the ball, they looked quite good in transition and moving it. So we'll take a breather for quarter time and be back soon with the second term. A 1-goal lead for the Southerners at quarter time. An opportunity for Denham, who snaps around the corner. It's off hands. Battling with it was Limbrick. And it's through for the first score of the morning. The SFL doing the attacking early in this one. The Northwest wide open forward 50 in front of Newnham. It's a foot race. Will it sit for Newnham here? It's tumbling. Can she gather cleanly here? Bearing down on it was Wagner. Still a chance for Newnham, but it's rushed through from behind.
Didn't quite hit a target out, but it's okay. Running through now is Limbrick. Kick inside the forward 50, finds Murgatroyd, but there was a good spoil out there by Lions. It was nicely done. Still trying to come in now, the South. Little dribbler kick forward. It's rolling for goal. And they're off and running early here, the SFL. And I reckon that's Denham, Drury. Pretty sure, Drury.
Yeah, she's been one of the dominant players of the SFL. Smith couldn't take that one cleanly. Pittman arriving to apply some pressure. Kick out of traffic. Murgatroyd from behind. Again, Lions defending the situation well. Again, I think it's Denham roving and snapping and goaling. What a start to this game.
Here is Olivia Smith for the Northwest. Reels around from 50, spots up a target there. And I reckon that the skipper will line up from a slight angle, sets it on its way, and the Northwest are on the board at North Hobart Oval, and it's back to a goal, Drury.
For a little bit, but not long. I wouldn't talk to anyone who's going to supermarket quickly, and I can't carry her in everything, but...
So we're back for the second quarter here at North Hobart Oval. Northwest already back in their positions. The SFL just staying in their huddle for a moment longer. A 6-point lead as they look to defend their Rep Series crown from last year. The Northwest, with a win today, would wrap up the 2026 edition. So plenty on the line here. The SFL making a strong start, but a late goal from Luca Conkey. Just keeping them within touch after Lyra Denholm with a double to get things started for the South. Has looked very lively anytime the ball has gone in her vicinity in that forward line. They're going to need to put the clamps on her. We're ready to go. Quarter number 2. The Northwest hit back here. And down by Lee. Just to follow up at ground level, but kick around the corner. Can take a kind bounce for Kennedy Williams. Her handball then blocked off. Nicely done by Aylett. Smith with a high up and under towards the wing. Spoiled there was Mitchell. A ground level try. Now went it back was Webster. Diving on top. Kennedy Williams bulldozing away through Saywood. Turning inboard was Webster. Sets it up into the middle of the ground. Here's Smith set up their goal before quarter time. Slick handball now to Hingston. Hingston lofts. One that's going to come down with snow in it inside the forward 50 there. Fell the way of McConnell. She clears it out there. Beck spilt it. Now turning away with it is Warlar. Got run down, just got the kick away in time. Darting out the back Booth. She spied Webster in space, and that's just who she picked off.
So Webster now off to Steph Smith, the skipper. Having a really dominant game in the ruck already. She's going to draw her opponent. She wanted to go the hand pass, but knew that traffic was coming, so she just sent it down the line now. Little kick around the corner, and the NWFL is going to hand back the ball to Smith. And she's going to drive this one down the line is Steph Smith. Looking for a target. Beck's probably in best position. Ends up out the back, Denham. Kick forward now by the NWFL. Lee got her kick away. Sayward. Hand pass picked up and handed off by Rockcliffe. Streaming through there was Pittman. A bit of AFLW experience, if you don't mind. The NWFL, Smith. And stacks on in the middle of North Hobart Oval. A couple of metres away from the bullseye. We'll have a ball up. Smith and Lee. Probably both got hands on that in the end, really. Webster. Lee. Big tackle laid by... And that might be Conkey. It is. Having a good game as skipper. Slapped out of there by Smith. Webster ran into a roadblock. In fact, that was pre-short. Little kick around the corner from Conkey. Up towards the target. And that's exactly where she goes. Taking the mark, Ella Moody.
Strong from Moody. Really good contested mark. The ball just came in quickly and rewarded for taking front position.
Yep. She was very, very nicely positioned to take that one. So this would bring it all back to even here in North Hobart Oval. She can kick it. Kick into the bowl's end. Looking for her first. And the NWFL second. I reckon it's swinging back just across the face of goal, but it's touched on the line by Conkey. She tried to reel it in, but just lost the handle on it. So first score of the quarter going the way of the NWFL.
Just a metre short in the end as the SFL trying to rebound, but that kick a little bit dicey. Rockcliffe broke it up, fell to Lee. Lee sends them back inside. McConnell with a strong mark. Drew some physical contact there from Bissett, but stood tough. Took a vital mark for her side. She wants to get the moving quickly. Spears the kick off to half back. Nice work there. McConnell now offering short. That'll be ignored. Instead went looking for Waller. Couldn't find her with the kick now. Spinning round. Saywood will be rewarded. A good tackle. We're in the spin cycle there, and she'll just drop off a short one. Selling a little bit of candy was Smith, who sets it up, and Rockcliffe reels it in. Again, a free kick was spotted. Go the way of the SFL. Playing on there, Preshaw, spoiled by Smith. Clearing kick from Webster. Battling away there, Hingston. Just disrupting. Smith goes in for it again. It'll be tossed up, so it's the Northwest doing the attacking early here in quarter number 2, trying to get back in front of this game, and they'll go inside the forward 50. Broken up. Handball back from Whitehead. A little bit of pressure here. Quick kick around the corner. Waller working up at it. Now back towards the middle of the ground. Ewington couldn't quite reel it in. Now has a couple to scrap with at ground level. Another ball up.
Lyra Denham's kick 2 for the SFL. Luca Conkey with 1. We've travelled 4 minutes into this term. Nearly 5. Because it's 1 down and everybody will collide on each other again. We'll have another ball up. Middle of the day today, ball up, Drury. There's been a few of them. Tapped down by Smith. Into the path now of Emma Waller. Coming away with it now, the SFL. She kicks it up towards Denham. Having a really good game as Lyra Denham as she wheels and goes onto that right foot. Just over the head of her teammate there in Wickham. Couldn't quite reel it in. Murgatroyd, hard to miss in those fluoro orange boots. Just got the hand pass away to Ewington. Fired it out now. Rockcliffe, really hot in here at the moment. Oh, Denham again coming away with it. She shoveled one out towards Preshaw. Couldn't quite reel it in. Here's Saywood. Driving one down the line, over the head of Whitehead. Shrugged the tackle of Wickham, and now they're off and running. The NWFL kicking up towards Moody. Couldn't quite get it in. Davis, she's going to be rewarded with a push. Rihanna Davis from Glenorchy. One of the best fullback players in the comp is Davis in the SFL. As she fires it out, but just goes over the head of her target there in Webster. And we will see a ball in.
Yeah, Webster doing well just to get a hand on that one, prevent a Lasso free kick to get her skates on to track that one down. So, complexion of this game has changed a little in quarter number 2. It's the Northwest just getting their hands on the ball around the stoppages a bit more. Treating handball to Whitehead. She'll share it with Preshaw. Tries to turn away for some pressure on the heads. Back towards the middle of the ground. The Northwest with the numbers there, but the SFL able to come away via Kennedy Williams. Her kick off the hand there of Ewington. A chance. It's a wide open forward 50 if they can get it to Beck here. Not quite. Limerick couldn't quite pick her up by hand, and now through the middle of the ground, it'll be Luca Conkew. Sets a high ball up towards centre half forward. Through some hands, spilt out the back for Bissett. Bissett, she's agile. She turns back inside. Sets it up at McConnon. Not for the first time this quarter. Takes the relieving mark in defence and is pinpoint by boot to Limbrick. Limbrick now will work it down the line. Good ball movement here from the SFL. McConnell's continued to run. Dealt with after she kicked was Barnes. It was a lovely kick too. It found Molly Mitchell. Molly Mitchell's kick tumbling inside forward 50. Denholm slapped it back centrally. Then we'll follow it up. Murgatroyd trying to get a handle on the footy here. She flicks it back looking for Denholm. Just keen to find the safety of the line was Jess Whelan. And she does.
She knew exactly what she was doing there, Whelan. Had no intention of trying to paddle it onto herself. She always had the boundary line in her sights. But again, Denham just getting active in that forward 50, Drew. So we see a ball in now. Kicking to the city end. The SFL. Errant throw-in. Probably should have been recalled. Went nowhere near the people that it was supposed to. Limbrick chucks it on the boot. Murgatroyd, it hits up. And they're going to have another shot at goal here, the SFL. Maybe they shouldn't be after an errant throw-in, but it is what it is, and here is Murgatroyd from the Clarence Footy Club. Lining up, less than 25 out. She'll strike it purely, and Murgatroyd gets on the board. So 3-1-19, a 1-2-8. And they've just split it open a little bit here, the SFL.
Yeah, Murgatroyd takes advantage. Hasn't been able to get into the game early on. She's been pretty well held by this defensive unit of the Northwest. A somewhat fortuitous goal, you'd have to say. The throw was just absolutely zoomed back into the 50.
Probably should have been called in.
On it. And somewhat fortuitous for the SFL, but they played on. They took advantage of their little bit of fortune there, and they get the first goal of the term. Yeah, the Northwest probably might feel a little bit aggrieved by that one.
Do you reckon they're doing goal celebration songs? Do you reckon Danny's onto that, Drury? Maybe?
It's a possibility. I don't know that every player's got their own individual one. I reckon it's more just DJ's choices. Out of the middle, we'll try and get it. Shania Saywood couldn't quite get a handle on the footy. Over the shoulder, the call there. So a free kick will go the way of the SFL. High kick in the Murgatroyd direction. Just too much on it for her. She'll just shove her opponent out of the contest. Wasn't spotted by the umpire. He tossed up in the paint of 50. In the ruck work is Beck. The Northwest with a chance to clear. Murgatroyd arrived. Forced the errant kick. Just slapped back in towards some traffic. Locked in by Waller. By Let's Play develop, but it's not getting out of there. Locked in by Jess Smith. Toss it up again. Beck won it down. Trying to spin freeze Molly Mitchell, and she got a kick out of there. Just volleyed away there by Hingston. Murgatroyd pumps it back towards a dangerous area, and guess who? No, it's a push. Denholm, free kick. I thought she'd sprung up again, the live wire.
So it ends up in the hands of Lyons. She might get the tackle here, although she just runs around it as Lyons. Yeah, I thought she might have been on for a third there. Drury is coming back with a flight courageously. was Amalia Johnson. She hand passes off, and now Sable drives it in towards full forward. It was a one-on-one, and winning the battle there was Moody. Just got a kick smothered, though. Nicely done by the SFL down there at half-back. Hand pass just flicked up to Asher Newnham as she kicks it off to the vacant goal square. And Davis will run this one over. She'll escort it, and it's out to 10 points. 3-1-19 to 1-3-9. Limbrick here. We'll try and track this one down. She won't get there quick enough, so it's going to come straight back in. Denham and Murgatroyd, the goal kickers for the SFL, and Conkey with one for the NWFL. As she just ran out of tarmac there in the end, Pittman. She's thinking, what happened there? I think she might have just run it over the boundary line though, Drury, so we'll see the ball in. We've travelled 11 and a half here at North Hobart Oval. Pleasure to have your company wherever you're watching from around the country. Good looking throw in. This time it was a little bit more nicely directed. As they kick it up now towards Lions. Couldn't quite reel it in though. Back again Smith. This time Olivia Smith. Shrugged the tackle and then sent it down the line. It was over in the Kelsey Ahern direction from the Devonport Football Club. Wheeling and going from Conkey. Mark taken by McConnell. Maybe not. Maybe it was touched. Out now to Johnson as she fires it inside forward 50. Front position was held brilliantly there by Wickham. McConnell sets it out. And now they've got a relieving mark in Davey.
So Davey will just stab a short one here. Steering it out. Didn't quite complete the mark. It was broken up by Hingston. It's off the boot, so it should be an SFL ball. It will be. Drives it down the line. Best position, though, was Shania Saywood. We can send them back inside the forward 50 again. McConnell back with the flight. Now Negri. High ball from Davis. Doesn't really clear the area. McConnell couldn't take it cleanly. Trying to bust through Luca Conkey. That was shut down. Clear and kick is picked out Saywood again. She can drive the Northwest back inside once more if she wants. Moody calling for it, but again, it's intercepted. Going back there is McConnell, and she directs this one across and finds Whitehead. Back pocket. Just looks to settle things down. Want to blaze out a defence. They've been turning the ball over a little readily in the last few moments. Want to be one here. Ahern trying to win it back for the Northwest. It'll be tossed up. Attacking side of the square. Well, the NWFL 10 points in arrears at the moment, but having a much better quarter in general play. Hold spotted there, and then an opportunity to go forward once again. Get something out of this attack. The game really has flipped in this second term. It's been the SFL defensive held under quite a bit of pressure. Emily Saywood, that was nimble. She'll drive them inside the forward 50. The mark was spilled there in the pocket. Newnham just couldn't quite take it. A bit of a missed opportunity perhaps there for the Northwest.
Yes. Pressing so closely now. They've got it in a good spot. So, tap down again to no one in particular. It was Beck. Tidy up on that, I reckon, the umps. Negri fires one to the outer wing. Barnes just got pushed over as she tried to pick it up. Little Chisler kick forward was okay by the NWFL, but still ping-ponging around at the moment as the stacks form in. Coming away with it now was Mitchell as she fires one down the line. Off hands of a couple. High one up from Hingston. Moody was out the back. Couldn't quite reel it in. Kicking up now towards Murgatroyd. No, she's got a big right foot. She's going to send it up towards a couple of targets now. Out the back. Here's Booth. Just got run down instantly by Hingston. was a good tackle, but it's in a good spot now for the SFL. 15 and a half gone. Tapped down there by Smith. Here's Denham again. Shovel the hand pass out towards Booth. Couldn't quite reel it in though. Coming towards her was Baldwin. Just ping-ponged it around. Denham. Her hand pass got intercepted. Little chisel kick forward now. Smith. Pringle. Went back and got her own football to Pringle. She was still moving in there. Bustling her way through. And see another ball up. Only the one goal this term coming by way of Luca Murgatroyd in the 8th minute. So we've travelled about 8 minutes since that last goal. They would be too displeased with this though, Drury. The NWFL, they've got a couple of looks down forward. They've defended really hardly though.
They have. They're going to have some more defending to do here as Baldwin tumbles one inside the forward 50. Following up, Hayley Baldwin. Quick kick, one-on-one out the back. Murgatroyd. Oh, it might bounce all the way through. It has. Hayley Baldwin slapped it on the boot. And it just seemed to pick up speed as it hit the square and it rolls all the way through. Just unable to prevent that one on the line. And the SFL do get their second of the quarter. And they extend the lead to 16 points. A little bit against the run of play after the Northwest had a good last 5 minutes or so. Just a quick kick out of traffic. The Lions couldn't quite get back to it. It just seemed to get quicker and quicker as she went there, bud.
Yeah, it sped up on her, didn't it? I think the goal umpire even got tumbled down by the quickness of it. Because it's out now, Beck. That was a nice goal by Baldwin just to split the margin back again to 16, as you said, Drury. But they've got an opportunity now, the NWFL. Failing to pick it up was Rockcliffe. Coming out there was Wagner. Nicely done. In fact, that was Whitehead. She just got the tackle shrugged off on her, though. She had a really nice follow-up effort there to Hallie Whitehead. It's still ping-ponging around. Saywood, Emily, up towards half-forward. Bissett just tripped her opponent over. Deemed fair. Bissett now from 50. Got her kick smothered by Wagner. Ends up back in the hands of Bissett. Went again. Nicely done by the SFL. They were just irking around as Whelan shoveled a kick forward. And they come away with it now, the SFL, and they've just been able to set up defensively better today, Drury, as Smith turns it over, though, into the hands of Olivia Lyons. She's having a good game down back. Spots up a kick, and it's in the hands of Moody. She fires one inside forward 50, but Wagner stood in the road from Kingborough. To the outer wing now. Dropping the mark was Whitehead. And pass up there by Moody. Trying to track it down now is Aylett. Wagner. Whitehead again. Good follow-up effort. Limbrick just got to her on the half volley. Fell over her own feet in the end. Did Limbrick. As the stacks start to form, they just paddle it forward with a high up and under ball now. But a really solid pluck was taken, but it was deemed non-15, so we'll have a ball up.
The final minute of the half. Can the Northwest pull one back late in proceedings? Just keep within touch at the main change. Conkey. Gather it cleanly. Instead, the SFL will take it away. Beck sends it forward. Wide open forward 50 out the back here. Can Booth gather cleanly? No, she can't. Pressure arrived from Ahern. Whelan rather, who just locked it in. Nice piece of ruck work there from Ewington. Just arrived with speed, and now Moody can gather and set one back into the corridor for Saywood. Saywood juggled. No, didn't juggle the mark, lost it, but she regathered it. Now it looks to burst clear, but the kick is ill-directed. The SFL defence taking plenty of intercepts. Whitehead the latest. She sends it wide for Kennedy Williams. We'll settle things down. That'll take us to half-time. So, 2 goals in quarter number 2. Both went the way of the SFL. They extend their lead to 16 points at the half. Northwest probably had a better quarter, I reckon, than the first one, but not on the scoreboard, where the SFL took their chances. They just couldn't quite find the marks inside 50, the Northwest, for all their play down there. It was the SFL defence who stood up well. It's a fairly handy 16-point break they have at the main change block.
Yeah, they just dominated that quarter of the SFL, didn't they? I mean, they had a couple of looks forward, the NWFL, but they really struggled to get a deep entry. I mean, a couple of times they went to half forward, but the defence of the SFL just stood up. But, I mean, only to let, 2 goals in that quarter where most of the play was down the 50. I mean, they'd be pretty happy with that, the NWFL, but they've still got a bit to think about. Denham's kicked 2. They're going to be trying to make sure she doesn't quite get away in this game. Murgatroyd and Baldwin for the SFL as well, and Conkey's kicked 1. Bit to think about, probably for both sides, but you'd be pretty happy at the break for the SFL, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the game in their hands at the moment. It's going to take a big fight back from the Northwest. They're to wrestle back this Rep Series crown after the SFL claimed it in 2025. Looking to defend that. Of course, they can't wrap it up today. They've still got to play the NTFA in Game 3. If the Northwest were to win this one, that would be the series over. But certainly, if the SFL can keep going like this, there'll be one hand on the trophy. We'll be back with the second half for you shortly. It is the SFL 4-1-25, leaving the NWFL 1-3-9, half-time at North Hobart.
That was pre-short. Little kick around the corner from Conkey, up towards the target. And that's exactly where the North Hobart Oval. She can kick it, kick into the bowl's end. Looking for her first. And the NWFL second. I reckon it's swinging back just across the face of goal, but it's touched on the line by Conkey. She tried to reel it in, but it should have been recalled. Went nowhere near the people that it was supposed to. Limbrick chucks it on the boot. Murgatroyd, it hits up. And they're going to have another shot. Here's Murgatroyd from the Clarence Footy Club. Lining up, less than 25 out. She'll strike it purely. And Murgatroyd gets on the board. So 3-1-19, 1-2-8. The SFL down there at half-back. Air pass just flicked up to Asher Newnham as she kicks it off to the vacant goal square. And Davis will run this one over. She'll escort it. And it's Drury, the NWFL. They've got a couple of looks down forward. They've defended really hardly, though.
They have. They're going to have some more defending to do here as Baldwin tumbles one inside the forward 50. Following up, Hayley Baldwin. Quick kick, one-on-one out the back. Murgatroyd. Oh, it might bounce all the way through. It has. Hayley Baldwin slapped it on the boot. And it just seemed to pick up speed as it hit the square. It rolls all the Back to North Hobart Oval for the second half. It's a representative series game between the NWFL and SFL. It's the SFL with a 16-point break after the first half of action, looking to defend their rep series crown. The NWFL better quarter in quarter number 2 in general play, just couldn't put her on the scoreboard. The SFL took their chances, and the SFL appeared to be one player short at the moment as Amy Baldwin makes her way in. And that's just delaying the start. So we're about ready to get underway. Bo Downham, I'm going to lead us off here in the second half.
So Johnson and Beck are going to do the ruck battle to start this second half off. It is 16 points, the margin going the way of the SFL. Denham has kicked 2 in Murgatroyd, and Baldwin both the singles, and Conkey's got 1 too. As it gets tapped down by Beck, and see a ball up. So, as I said, Drury, 41 hit-outs last week, 155 ranking points. She had a good day out. Did Lindsay Beck against North Hobart. There's Saywood. High up and under ball from Hingston, one of those Devils-listed players out there today. Whitehead tried to win her own football. And everyone just collides on her, and we'll see a ball up. So I reckon it might have been McConnell who they were waiting for, Drew. She runs around the boundary, just a little bit laid out. There's Pittman, fires it inside forward 50, just through the lap of Saywood. Good follow-up work by Saywood. Pushed her teammate out of the way. Hand pass fired off now to Conkey. Already kicked 1, and she sends it up towards full forward. Fist out there was good by Davis. Still in disrepute, though. They've got a bit of time to make something up here. The NWFL, as it bounces all the way towards goal, and first score of the second half is ushered over there by Wagner.
Bissett trying to bend one back there. Couldn't quite get the bounce she was after. And it drives them out of defence with a lovely kick there. Down Beck, who give the nicest dish there to Wickham, and they've turned it over. Opportunity for Smith, went back in board, broken up by Preshaw, but it found its way to Saywood, who sends them inside 50. Bit of a fumble from Baldwin. Eventually got a kick, not much territory on it. Found its way through to Beck, turned and thumped it down the corridor. Ball to be won here, just cleverly slapped on. And out the back, Denham had a bit of an area initially, then towed it forward. She's got a couple to contend with here, Denham. Fighting away to the football, did pretty well. Somehow still going, then fed the handball back in board. Superb from Illyria Denham. And then the snapshot from Mitchell is offline and misses the lot. Denham just making things happen every time the ball is in her vicinity. Inside the forward 50.
Playing a great game.
Absolute live wire as Northwest will look to clear defensive 50 here. Mark was spilled. And tackle laid, locking it in there was Murgatroyd.
So another ball up, just on the arc of the 50, kicking towards the bowls end is the SFL. Limbrick came in there like a house on fire. In fact, that was Beck. High up and under ball, cleared the area. Fist from behind was solid by Wickham. Hand pass back in ball, been really silky with their skills today, the SFL. It was Davey, and then riding shotgun with her. She kicks it up towards Mitchell. Kick off the pack is good. Limbrick had to hold the head back to try and get it. Limbrick might just work out okay for her. Try to soccer it over. Not enough for it. So very, very tidy stuff. Their ball movement has been amazing today. Drury, as it's just spilt out in the mark. Good tackle laid by Booth. Off now to Pittman. Just off the shin of Pittman. Linked up though with Saywood. Riding shotgun with her though was Ahern. Spills out now to Ahern. Just lost the handle on it though. Wagner had her for company. Davey nicely on out now to Negri. Beck back to Negri. Standing in the road though. A couple of roadblocks from the NWFL. Firing it forward there is Johnson. They kick it up towards the half-forward line. Clearing kick out now by Wickham. She's had a really solid game down there at half-back for the SFL. As dragging that one in is Webster. And we'll see a ball up.
It'll be tossed up in the middle of the ground. 16 points the lead for the SFL. First goal, really important to this one. Saywood roved it nicely, sends them inside the forward 50, was looking for a sister but couldn't complete the mark, and Rihanna Davis clears it away. Found Michaela Booth at half back. Booth looks up, drives it down the line. Spoiling it was Whelan. Tumbled back towards the middle of the ground. Waller. Good pressure apply from Ahern. Denholm. Northwest win it back though, and now an opportunity to go forward. Driving kick over the head of Saywood. And intercepted back there by Davis. So Rihanna Davis clears defensive 50. Went looking for Booth. Just a bit too much on the kick though. And trickle out of play. Off hands, so no Lasso free kick. Beck working with Johnson for company here. One down at ground level. Trying to extract the football there, Heidi Preshaw, but she's going nowhere.
So it's 16 points at the moment. 4-2, 26-1, 4-10. So it's punched out of there by two big rucks working overtime at the moment. Nicely done there. Oh, maybe it was Conkey as she sets it up towards Saywood. Couldn't quite reel the mark in. Off now. It was Mooney at the bottom of the pack, and see a ball up. Deep inside the forward 50 now for the NWFL. Can they make something of it? Spike down into the path of Bissett. Slung around in the tackle. Only gets a little dribbler kick away though. And Wickham pretty happy to see this one over the boundary line for a throw-in. So Denham's kick 2. Murgatroyd and Baldwin with singles for the SFL, and Conkey the lone goal scorer for the NWFL if you're just joining us. Ball in now. That's a better throw in, but it still fades the rucks as Wagner speeds out. It's tracked down though. Beautiful tackle laid by Kelsey Ahern. The coach for Devonport is on the arc of 50. Players stream forward, looking for the next best option. Saywood comes out to meet it. Just off hands. Didn't quite travel the distance to her though. Newnham offline, but swooping through there was Webster. Cheeky little check side kick was great. Now Beck sits up perfectly for her in the North Hobart turf. Off the half back lines, Davey. Kick back inboard to a target. Is just turned over though. Saywood couldn't quite reel the mark in. Hingston, they're in the middle of North Hobart Oval as they just edge closer to the bullseye. Saywood, ball inside, finds her sister. Couldn't quite reel the mark in though. Could Shania Saywood as she is hugged up against the boundary line, and it's going to be a holding free kick going the way of the SFL.
Numbers back there for the SFL. Saywood had a couple to beat, gave a good fist of it. Couldn't quite, as Baldwin can clear the area. Backing back with the flight, Saywood of the Emily variety, broke it up, then applied some pressure. Preshaw, too much purchase on the handball, she'll have to go back in, did, but couldn't bust through the tackle of Pittman. The umpire will toss it up. The Northwest pressing here in quarter number 3. They need the next goal to get back into this one. Emily Saywood gather it, and again it's Pittman applying the pressure, locking it in. Smith won it down. Conkey doing well to pin the arm there in the tackle, Kennedy Williams. Handball back there towards Molly Mitchell. She's slung to the turf. Lee won it down. Williams unable to escape there. Pringle shutting her down. Smith won it down. Kick deflected away, and now the SFL trying to charge it in. Firm bump was laid on Williams. Scrapping for it, Molly Mitchell. Just from stoppage to stoppage at the moment. Too much flow. It's a tough physical battle out there. Every metre being fought over. This first goal vital in quarter number 3. High ball, Davis, best position. She picks it off. She's having a nice quarter, Rihanna Davis. Takes another mark.
So Davis bit off a kick that she couldn't quite finish. Rockcliffe out now to Lily McConnell. Really tight along the boundary. Bissett's in there. Rockcliffe still scrapping for it at ground levels. Whitehead, little paddle on from Barnes was nifty, but it didn't really travel anywhere. And eventually the umpire calls for a ball up just in front of us here in the Peter Sharp Tower at North Hobart Oval. So Lee wins the tap down. Out now to Mitchell, having a great game as the vice skipper. And another ball up. So we've travelled about 10 minutes. Haven't scored a goal since the 19-minute mark of the first term. The NWFL, they'll be chasing the first one of this quarter. There's a stab out there to Webster's, really nice. Murgatroyd was out. They kick it to Booth now. Booth gets the hand pass received to Mitchell. Ewington came in with a really nice smother. As it's chipped off now. McConnell stood front position. Rockcliffe came over here with the towering fist. Smith, Booth, just splitting through the hands there of Williams. Running away with it now, the NWFL. Bissett trying to pick it up. Did so perfectly, but the kick wasn't so good from her teammate. Out now to Moody. Pringle, rather. And it'll be free kick going the way of the NWFL. About 5 metres away from the bullseye, and Moody's going to take a kick, or Pringle, rather. Firing ball, it was a little bit wonky in the end, up towards centre half forward. High up and under ball there, it was from Moody this time. Trying to track it in was Newnham. And pass flicked out there by Wickham. And again, they're out in a bit of space. Snapping kick on goal from Newnham. And she gets the first of the third term. And the NWFL bring it back to 10 points. Newnham gets that goal. And all of a sudden, a bit of a game on here at North Hobart, Drury.
Yeah, some lovely work from Luca Conkey there too. Just got the handball. They had numbers goal side. Just had to get that ball out of the congestion. She did with strength. Fed it to Newnham, who finished tidily. And it was vital they got the first goal this third quarter, and they have found it. So 10 points the difference. Very much game on here. So back to the middle. Smith wins it down. Smith applying some pressure. Davey in there. Unable to extract the footy, and the umpire will call for it. Smith won it down to Smith of the Olivia variety, who kicks it up in the direction of Bissett. Bissett with a fancy little sidestep and then sends them inside the forward 50. Spoil came from behind. Oh, well done there by Moody. And rewarded. Ella Moody made a great tackle there. Wins the free kick. Wide open goal square. Can she carry the distance? It'll have to fly 40, 45 metres.
Got a whole open pocket they can lead to.
And the leads are presenting, but Moody, for the time being, looks like she's going to have a shy. No, just faked them out. Sold them on that and chipped it short. Found the marking target in Amali Johnson, who's a little bit closer to home. Need to carry it about 35. So for 2 quick strikes for the Northwest, Amali Johnson sends it on its way and sends it through the middle. The Northwest are fighting back here at North Hobart. 2 quick goals and they're back within 4 points.
Great job there by Johnson. And the little fake out just to start that piece of play, Drew, was very sneaky, I must say, but it worked out beautifully. And now they bring it back. It was 16 points at the break, Drury, and they've brought it back to 4. So 2 quick goals always help you out in a game of football. As Smith wins the tap down. Trying to pick it up. And doing so nicely was Rockcliffe. Smith, little toe poke forward. Sliding mark in by Limbrick. She's moved up the ground. Not playing that traditional forward role is Jacinta Limbrick. As she fires up towards half forward. Nearly taking the mark, Denham. Not a shock. She's been really good today. She's going to get the hand pass received now. Broke through a couple of tackles, did the youngster. And she sharked a hand pass out. Umpire roving. I've been so impressed with Olivia Denham. Drury, she's been so good. Ball up. Now, Waller. Dribbling kick forward. In a good spot now for the SFL. Hand passed out by Kingston. Denham tied along the boundary. And doesn't get the purchase or the accuracy she would have liked. It was a kick and hope really in the end from Illyria Denham.
You can't blame her for taking the shot on the way she's been hitting him today. Why not? Play a field with confidence. That's a risky kick back inboard. Broken up, doing pretty well. Rockcliffe in the end salvaged the situation. Trying to turn free was Webster. She turned into a tackle. Tossed up just outside the paint of 50. The SFL looking for a response here. Their lead has been cut back to 4 points. Boring away through. Webster went looking for Denham, but they're leaving back. Taken back there. It's Piper Humphreys who dishes the little handball off. They'll send it up the wing now. Will be one. Will it sit for Bissett? Not quite. The numbers there for the SFL arriving is Wickham. Who'll send them forward. Sticking a mid up. Murgatroyd out the back for Denham. Back for Murgatroyd. Flung it over the top. Trying to find Beck. Beck brought down by a Whelan. A goal-saving tackle. That one from Jess Whelan was looking promising. The experienced Whelan saves the day.
Oh, a couple of young stars in the making. Linking up there in Murgatroyd and Denham. They've been two of the best for the SFL today. And Murgatroyd will hang out in the middle here. Thought she might have contested that ruck battle, but why would you when you got Beck? Hand passed off. Little kick forward by Mitchell, but relieving mark is taken by Shania Saywood. Well, that was a Hearn, sorry. She kicks it across the face of goal. Scrappy kick. And that's not what you need when you're trying to chase a lead down. Up to 5 points now, 4-3-27 to 3-4-22. So bring it into Pittman. Just got it on the half volley. A little bit scrappy, the NWFL at the moment. Just got to tidy up if they want to keep themselves in this game. Wagner broke through the tackle with a lot of power. Did Wagner. Waller now up towards half forward, but Pittman stands in the road. She wants to go down this commentary side wing. Run off half back was ignored. Looked at her and said, no, not going to use. She kicks out towards the George Miller stand, side of the ground. Great mark taken by Conkey. Now she's going to run the skipper up towards half forward. Just through the hands there of her target. And again, Barnes turns it over to Olivia Smith. Emily Saywood on the edge of the square. Attacking half the NWFL. High one inside forward 50. Numbers favouring the SFL. Here's a Hearn. And boundary line beats out. So 2 minutes left in the quarter. They're in the right position to get a goal here, the NWFL, and to snag the lead back for the first time in this one.
An impressive fight back in quarter number 3 from the Northwest. Pushing again here. Big moments in the ball game, and an opportunity as that one sniped, but just wide of the mark. Hitting it with speed, Amy Bissett really come to the fore in this third term as Bissett. Oh, that was a risky ball. Didn't catch it at all right, and Webster does well just to get a hand on it and prevent turning it back over. Just a little panic perhaps, that kick. The pressure being brought by the Northwest and bringing out a few mistakes from the South. Back into play. Here's Bissett. Trying to bring it under a spell. She does. She ducks under a tackle. She gets it on the boot. She stabs it forward. Broken up by McConnon. Numbers with the SFL. Bit of a hurried kick. Took a tumbling bounce. It was shut down. Gathered by Pittman. Pittman now. Fed it back to Lee. Lee, the handball just too sharp for Hingston. Ball to be won now, back in dispute. And they'll force a stoppage with 40 seconds left in the term.
Pittman having a good quarter. The coach is standing up. They've got time if they're good enough, the NWFL, to get the lead heading into the last. It balls up like this, nearly. Umpire's going to blow the whistle, holding the ball. So they do have an opportunity now at the NWFL to go forward. High ball inside forward 50. Moody pushed her opponent underneath it. Coming out now is Moody. Right on the boundary line. They're hugged up against. And I reckon that'll be all she wrote for the term, unless it's something miraculous as the clock clicks down. Siren sounds, and it is back to 4 points here at North Hobart Oval. 4-3-27 to 3-5-23. Denham's kicked 2, Murgatroyd and Baldwin with singles for the SFL, and for the NWFL, Conkey, Newnham and Johnson with 1. We've got a ball game on our hands, Andrew Cooling.
Yeah, they got themselves back into the contest nicely there. The Northwestern came very close to taking the lead late on. I thought Moody was just going to get that one through the middle. Some despairing defence back there, just denying her as the SFL held firm. But it's anyone's game with 1 to play. The Stars really picked up for the Northwest in that term. Pittman had a good quarter. Conkey was busy. We saw Emily Saywood getting her hands on the football plenty, and suddenly this is very much game on. And the SFL are going to need to lift if they are going to defend their title. It is a game delicately poised at 3/4 time. We'll be back with the final term for you shortly. 4-3-27, the SFL lead the NWFL 3-5-23 with 1 quarter left to play.
Ball forward. Fist out there was good by Davis. Still in disrepute though. They've got a bit of time to make something up here. The NWFL, as it bounces all the way towards goal. And first score of the second half is up towards Mitchell. Kick off the pack is good. Limbrick had to hold the head back to try and get it. Limbrick might just work out okay for her. Try to soccer it over. Not enough for it. End up towards centre half forward. Up and under ball there was from Moody this time. Trying to track it in was Newnham. And pass flicked out there by Wickham. And again they're out in a bit of space. Snapping kick on goal from Newnham. And she gets the first of the third term. And the NWFL bring it back to 10.
Looks like she's going to have a shy. No, just faked them out. Sold them on that and chipped it short. So for 2 quick strikes for the Northwest, Amali Johnson sends it on its way and sends it through the middle. The Northwest are fighting back here at North Hobart. 2
forward by Mitchell, but relieving mark is taken by Shania Saywood. Well, that was a Hearn, sorry. She kicks it across the face of goal. Scrappy kick. And that's not what you need when you're trying to chase a lead down.
3 from the Northwest. Pushing again here. Big moments in the ball game, and an opportunity is that one sniped, but just wide of the mark. Hitting it with speed, Amy. So we're back for the final quarter here, just waiting for a few of the Northwest men to get off the field so we can get on with it. They're warming up ahead of the next game. But boy, do we have a final quarter in store here, Bo.
Absolutely we do, Drury, and we are really looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. Looks like maybe Shania Saywood down on the boundary. She's going through a few run-throughs, so she might be a bit proppy. But it is a big final term here. SFL hold the 4-point lead heading into this last term. Here's Andrew Cooley.
2 goals to none in quarter number 3, the Northwest. They've cut the margin back to 4. Who can get it done here in the final quarter? Emily Saywood was huge in the third term. She looks to send her side forward immediately. That was shut down, though, and it'll be the South who go forward as Molly Mitchell gets on the end of this one. Controls, turns onto the right. Her kick was charged down. Following throw, though, Preshaw trying to shrug free of Smith. Just heaved it out in the nick of time. Ball to be won. Murgatroyd lurking. Rushing past was Waller. Trying to disrupt, but the Northwest keep their nerve and guide it wide. Trying to track it down was Pringle. Got a little shove. Did the boundary line beat both comers in the end? It did. So it'll be tossed back into play on centre wing. Thrilling final term in prospects. Anybody's game this. Both teams have had periods in the ascendancy. SFL had the better of the first half, but the Northwest have really turned things around here as Heidi Preshaw looks to send this SFL towards the half-forward line. Gathered by Davey, handed it back. Her teammate was under all sorts of pressure there in Smith. He tossed up.
Smith's had a really good game. Another hit out there for the SFL. She's got them rolling. Really good stuff. Was holding the ball is called, going the way of the SFL, and Lana Davies going to have the ball in hand. And passes off to her teammate in Webster from the Clarence Football Club. She drives it up towards full forward. Just clean bowls Murgatroyd. Still in a dangerous position now for NWFL to defend, and holding the football, or a throw is called, and Booth is going to be rewarded with a free kick from Glenorchy. Here is Booth. Had a pretty good kick on it. Not going to make the distance or the accuracy. Denham bobs up again. Trying to reel it in as Alira Denham. Booth. Bissett. Good tackle it was by her. And just off shoot. And a boundary throw in. Deep inside forward 50 now for the SFL. A lot of people in SFL coach today, Drew. Don't know who's who. Lots of people here. A part of the action. Errant throw in again. Quick kick out by Webster. Up towards Denham. Tried to pluck it in. Couldn't quite really. And another good strong tackle. Maybe she might be the difference.
Well, kick 2 in the first quarter. He's been dangerous. Might have had a third if there was a bit of a phantom push that was paid against her in the second term. She has looked lively any time it's gone near her. The SFL pushing here, but the Northwest defence has stood up pretty well throughout the contest. Held firm. Quarter number 3 had a lot of work to do in the first term when the SFL really dominated. Handled off by Preshaw, starting to get busy, trying to clear the area. Saywood as they work it up the line. Busting through was Bissett. She's come to life as well, Bissett, but this kick is a poor one straight down the throat of Rihanna Davis, who will just settle things down and then loft a high ball. The NWFL well positioned here, and that one's an easy intercept for Olivia Smith. Just about every single player in the corridor at the moment. It's a wide open forward 50. She just dropped a short one. Bissett again, tearing off and driving the Northwest forward. Again, Davis back there. The calming presence. And takes the relieving mark. Directing traffic is Ree Davis. She'll kick it up towards the contest. Smith couldn't quite gather cleanly under pressure from Olivia Smith. Locks it in for a stoppage.
Just in front of the George Miller stands. It's 4-3-27, 3-5-23. Good tackle laid by the South. Webster with a fresh airy. Lee went up. Wickham got run down though. Not rewarded. And appealing for it was Moody. It will be the last touch rule though, going the way of the NWFL. They got a chance here to regain the lead as she kicks it inside forward 50. Fist over the head of them by McConnon. And a ball in. They're just pressing, Drury. They are really pressing here, the NWFL. They haven't had the lead all game. It was 6 and then 16 at quarter time and 4 just then at 3/4 time. A remarkable comeback. Tap down Smith. And passed out by Waller. And a mark is taken by Lee. Thinks she has the distance. She's going to toe poke it inside the forward 50 now. Just out the back trying to get it was Newnham. Wickham. And pass out now to Wagner. Had a good clearance kick in Davey. And now they're going to move down this commentary side wing. Davey runs around Hingston. Just got her hands free. Limbrick heard the voice of Mitchell. That was nicely done. Hand pass just misfired though off to Limbrick. And we'll see a ball up. Pretty sure it was. Webster's having a good game too, Drury.
4 points to the margin. Smith won that one down, looking for Molly Mitchell. There was Lyons. Now Saywood. Immediately tackled there. Gathering at Murgatroyd. Tried to work the handball free. Couldn't do so. Smith did well to clear the air and some nice body work from Pringle. Spilt out the back though for Whitehead. Whitehead will drive them inside the forward 50. Ball spilled. It might fall the way of Davey. No, it's Denholm who emerges with the football, sidesteps one and sets sail for home. Her third, the best of the lot from Amelia Denholm. And the South draw first blood in the final term. A piece of individual brilliance from this young star. What a day she is having. Pure impact and gives them some breathing room here to start the final term.
Nicely done by Lyra Denham. And she is looking very, very good out there today. And it's back out to 10. Just disappointing from the NWFL. They couldn't make the most of their opportunity going inside forward 50 there, Drury. And they were very close to making something of it. But Denham, as you said, some individual brilliance. She is having a red-hot game today. Kicked 2 in the first quarter and now 1 in the fourth. As they're going to try push it forward now, the NWFL. Saywood kicking it inside forward 50. Wickham stuck the 1 mid out. Couldn't quite reel it in. Goes back and gets her own football. Big strong tackle there by Wickham. And Whitehead brings her down too. Ball up inside the arc now. The blue arc for the Bowls Club. Hand pass just got shoveled out, and then the kick forward out to Limbrick. She sped it before she earned it. Pittman was okay in there. Rockcliffe, hand pass forward. Here's Saywood, danced around a couple. Snap on goal. It's just drifted across the face and doesn't have the juice she would have liked for it. Still in dispute on the boundary line. Now out to Wagner. But it's coming back in. Here's Bissett. Bissett with a toe-poking kick forward, and it's beautiful off to the skipper and Luca Conkey. Already kicked 1. Kicked the first for the NWFL in the 19-minute mark of the first quarter. Here is Conkey for a captain's goal and to bring it back to 4 points. Gets very close to the player on the mark. It's not going to quite have the juice there. Saywood got front position, and a mark is taken by Ella Moody. This would be a certain goal nearly, I reckon. Moody to bring it back to 4 with about 11 minutes to go. Stabs at it and has missed. Let down there for the NWFL.
Just a little too casual perhaps there. Didn't kick through the football. And a real let off that for the SFL. Big missed opportunity. McConnon in one of her side's best today. Lions likewise, and wins it back for the NWFL here. Flicked it over the top, cleverly knocked on by Pittman. Lions again, followed up, flung a handball looking for Rockcliffe. Rockcliffe trying to shrug free, gave the handball back to Pittman. Pittman had a jumper tugs, went in for it again. Umpire putting the whistle away, and we'll toss it up. Ball up inside the forward 50 here. The NWFL pushing as Saywood does the ruck work. Kick cleared out of there. Broken up by Limbrick. Murgatroyd was being held and the umpire spots it. Hingston just grabbing her off the ball there, and that will relieve some pressure for the SFL, who had flooded back en masse. She'll have to wait till a few get forward of the footy. Umpire's whistle just being a little pedantic here, I feel, but eventually Murgatroyd will take her kick. Runs valuable seconds off the clock as far as the SFL are concerned. Limbrick, did the hard work, couldn't reel it in, but followed up well at ground level. Tumbles it round the corner and it bounced nicely inside the forward 50. Hingston under pressure from Mitchell and just forces it across the line for a ball in. It's a 9-point lead. They absorbed quite a bit of pressure there in the last few minutes, did the SFL. Another goal would make it very tough for the North. Craftily one over the top towards Barnes. Couldn't gather cleanly. Trying to wriggle free here. Stands up in the tackle. Going nowhere. It'll be a ball up.
11 minutes gone. How costly will that miss be for the NWFL? Spinning through now is Webster. She might just seal it. And it's across the line, and again the goal umpire goes down. Must just be something about that pocket. Maybe not the long studs. Is streaming out now, the NWFL. Back out to 10. Through the hands of Williams. Conkey. Bissett. Has to beat Williams and slipped over. Might have caught her in the back. Umpire says no. They still try and link out by hand. Conkey now down the line, but another swift mark by the SFL, and they're going to bite a few seconds off the clock. So it's Davey who drives them down the ground through the hands of the front position of the NWFL. Hingston got a quick hand pass away. Beck's in there. Strong tackle by Humphreys. Holding free kick going the way of the SFL, and Barnes is going to move them forward. Limbrick's out on her own. Runs to 50. Fires towards full forward. Out the back, just spilling the mark was Mitchell, but she cleans up nicely to Molly Mitchell. And she gets her first of the day. And I reckon we're nearly sealed here at North Hobart Oval. Mitchell gets her goal. And the SFL will just make it a whole lot tougher for the NWFL to come back, Drew. It was a nice piece of play.
Yeah, just experienced from Jacinta Limbrick. As soon as that free kick was blown, she just peeled out into space on the half-forward flank. Ball was worked to her, and then they were out. Put it over the top. Molly Mitchell had back position, but you can just see there Limbrick making that run, showing her nous. 16 points going to be hard for the Northwest from here. They've got no real time to waste, but it's the SFL who'll go forward from this centre break. Kicked into space, Negri leading Ewington to the football. Gathers it, but Ewington sticks the tackle. Umpire, though, pays a free kick in favour of Negri. There'll be no rush here with 6 minutes plus change to go. Handy break as she goes looking for Murgatroyd. Conkey back there for the Northwest. Hurried kick out of defence. Negri crashed into by an arriving Bissett, and it's out of play. Toss back in. Half forward for the SFL. Game well within their keeping now. Been pushed by the Northwest, but they've responded well in the final term. Preshaw spun around in a Smith tackle. And another stoppage.
Sun's coming out here. Not too bad of a day for football, Drury. A little bit cold, but near perfect. Always great at North Hobart Oval is Beck. Stuck the one Duke out to pick that one up. That was swift. Booth. Ewington. Just overrunning it though, Sayward. Hand pass back inboard. Baldwin. Out now to Denham. Can she break the tackle? She can, and she'll get her hand pass free too. The youngster, Sayward. Here's Whitehead. She just has the seas part for her. Fires all the way towards home, does Whitehead. And it doesn't quite have the juice on it. As good marks taken by Conkey. Chipping down the ground now. Hits up Bissett. On this outer wing, Bissett goes more central. Up to Moody with a really nice outstretched mark. Ella Moody, hand pass, and now running off half back. Sayward just lost the handle on. In fact, that was Conkey. Back to get it now, Luca Conkey. Bissett, high up and under football now. Davis, spilt what she should have taken. Conkey still in there, appearing with its Pringle. And a mark is taken. McConnell has had a really solid game.
Solid as a rock. McKinnon is looking for Limbrick here in a one-on-one battle. Pretty well though was Humphreys. Able to come away with it. Booth heads centrally. Barnes can settle things down in the middle of the ground. Screaming for it in space is Davey. Instead she'll go the opposite side through the hands of Kennedy Williams. Bissett just worked off the football. Came back in for it though. Good physical duel that one. Conkey turns it round the corner. Spoil came from behind from Wickham. Ducking under the tackle and high ball towards the half-forward line. Now a chance for Sayward. Wants to shrug free onto the right. Had the ball knocked out of her hands. Pretty sure worked it out. Back to Sayward. High ball deep towards the pocket. And it strips out of bounds on the full. Surely now the SFL, a 16-point lead and just over 3 minutes to go. Got one hand on the victory. Take something remarkable from here. Negri down the wing. Chance to go back here for the Northwest. High ball out the back. Smith, but Empire spotted an infringement. Conkey, have it off to Hingston, back to Conkey. Conkey will let fly from 40 to the goal square. Whitehead working back, is picking up speed and bouncing all the way through. Well, they might not be done just yet, the Northwest. A glimmer of hope as Conkey kicks another. 10 points the margin. But time is an enemy.
It is. That'd have to be pretty darn perfect from here, Drew. But the Conkey goal, she hasn't given up all day, Luca Conkey. I reckon the task might just be a bit too much for them, but consolation prize is good. So, means that we're going to go to game 3. SFL already got one. Tied at 1-1. If they win today, Smith. Out now to Mitchell. Off the half back, or the wing, was Limbrick. Mitchell's going to go track her own football down. Here is the vice skipper. High up and under ball towards half forward. Denham comes out to meet it. Just off the hands of her. Ahern keeping her steady. Limbrick overrunning it. Back to Denham. Drilled into, though, by Smith. And it's going to be a push in the back to Alira Denham. Pointing to the pocket is Denham. We've got about a minute and a half to go in this game. Denham fires it up towards full forward. Stack of numbers for the Northwest, and it's going to be a block to Pittman. As the player's down. Still down. Is that player at full back? Might be Moody. She kicks it out now. Smith with a fist. Limbrick fell hard. Denham's been really pesky down there at full forward. Conkey. High ball down the ground. Whitehead. Little kick again up towards Denham. Through the hands of Ahern. Still battling for it down there. Slung around in the tackle. Was Preshaw. And she'll receive a free kick.
Ahern sends it across for Whelan. And Whelan will send them forward, but they don't have the time left. They challenged hard at the NWFL, but the SFL triumphed by 10 points and put themselves in a very good position to defend their Rep Series crown. If they can beat the NTFA in the third game, they will win it once again. It was a cracking battle. Both teams had periods in the ascendancy. The SFL started strong. The NWFL came back at them hard. But ultimately, in the final term, the SFL had the answers. 3 goals for Illyria Denham. Probably the difference in what was a cracking game of rep footy. 6-4-40, the SFL defeat the NWFL 4-6-30. 10 points the final margin, but a really enjoyable exhibition of football, that one, Bo.
Oh, it definitely was. Yeah, it was a great game to watch. I mean, you just thought they might have been able to come back there, the NWFL, particularly when it was back to 4 points, but wasn't quite to be on the day. The SFL would be absolutely wrapped with how they played that game and just their fight and willingness to come back. But, I mean, the NWFL, they bring it back to 10 points, where it was out to 16 at one stage at the half, and then to bring it back to 4, it was a great effort. And they'd be pretty happy travelling back up the highway this afternoon. Although they're not getting the 4 points, they'd be pretty happy with it, Drury. Interesting to see who'll get best on ground. Of course, it's always a good watch. Looking forward to seeing the votes there. But, you know, I was actually pretty happy with how that game panned out, because the SFL, they come out of the blocks firing. They held on to that lead in the end, and I'd be pretty happy customers. Coach Craig Grace, and I reckon Michael Pask and also Emma Pittman would be pretty happy. She had a good game herself, Emma Pittman. So they do get the job done by 10 points. A couple of goal kickers for you. Illyria Denham kicked 3 goals. The talented superstar that she is kicked the 3. Murgatroyd and Baldwin, and Molly Mitchell with singles for the SFL. And for the NWFL, Luca Conkey, Asher Newnham, Amali Johnson and Luca Conkey. She kicked 2 goals. Johnson and Newnham also with singles. So lots of good signs for both teams that when they head back up today, they can go back and watch this and really be happy with how they played. Drury?
Yeah, it was a very entertaining battle. It was tightly fought throughout. SFL really had the better of that first quarter. Probably could have led by more at quarter time. I thought the NWFL defence really stood up in that first term and kept them within touch. So then when the game kind of developed and they started to win the ball around the ground a bit more, they were within striking distance, and they got right back in that third term. Cut the margin back to 4 points heading into the final change. Then, first 5 or 6 minutes of the quarter, it felt like the Northwest were maybe going to run over the top of them. The SFL held firm and were able to answer back the other way. Kicked a couple of goals. That Haley Baldwin's snap out of traffic was an important one. And young Illyria Denham was outstanding with her 3 goals, and good enough at the end of the day to get the job done. Win by 10 points. So they've just got to take care of business against the NTFA now, as the Northwest will certainly be cheering them on, as we'll go down to the ground announcer Brent Costello with the post-game ceremonies.
Congratulations to the SFL on the event today. The former president of the Golf Board, NWFL Women's representative coaches, and the Women this afternoon. Thanks very much. Thanks, Emma, and well done to the NWFL today. And now time to the NWFL player of the match. And about to know that we've got Paul Jones Carpenter from the NWFL to make the presentation. Thanks, Gary. And today's winner is number 10, Nicky Thompson. Congratulations, Luca, and once again, well done to the NWFL for today's performance. It's now my pleasure to invite SFL Women's event coach, Craig Grace, to come forward to say a few words. Thanks, guys. Well, my pleasure to invite for the SFL President, David O'Brien, to come forward with our opening to present the SFL version of today's game. The winner is number 6, Selena Bellin. Thanks, David, and congratulations to winning the medal. That concludes the presentation ceremony. The winner to the series is up to my resolution for each time. Please stick around. The men's match is coming up in 2 o'clock. Thank you very much.